Crypto DLT with MrConectr. Be sure to subscribe. Hit the notification bell for daily content. Let's go.
What's up, everybody? MrConectr's back again. Welcome to the Great Awakening. Welcome to the new financial revolution. Let's go.
Tokenization is the idea of using the smart contracts or the tokens on chain to be able to that represent, say, an underlying security. And so then that tokenized security is a security and would be subject to SEC rules by law. But the idea is that if it's on chain, on a blockchain, then there's much more transparency as to where it is. Right now, there's a bit of opacity as to who owns what and where the company usually doesn't even know where its who its shareholders are, and where the shareholders reside, where the shares reside. So tokenization has the benefit of potentially having, instead of T+1 now trade date +1 for clearance and settlement, the prospect of maybe T0. Now, depending on the instrument, and we have to think about netting and all sorts of other things with respect to some instruments. But in principle, the idea of on-chain delivery versus payment and receipt versus payment, DVP, RVP on-chain, is a prospect of de-risking the markets, making them much more transparent and then sure as far as clearance and settlement, because it's always that the gap between clearance and settlement and then delivery and payment is the real introduces risk into the system.
All right, you got, what is it, Atkins, Paul Atkins, the new chairman, on Fox Business the other day, talking about all the benefits of blockchain, guys. We knew this was coming, and it's about time they finally started letting the public know what we've known all along, how good this stuff can be, what it can be done to change the world, Good stuff here. Guys, welcome to the stream. First place, we had Bradley B on the podium, and Lizard King and Mojo. What's up? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I like to say podium. I just got through yesterday watching a good F1 race, the last one of the season. What a banger it was. Really good. Champion Lando Norris only won by 2 points. But we are back on crypto. Let's see what else Paul Atkins is talking about here.
Do you expect this is where financial services is going? Are the major banks and the brokers out there today moving increasingly toward tokenization?
Oh, absolutely. And it's the way the world will be, here in the, maybe not even in 10 years, maybe even a lot less time, maybe a couple of years from now. So I think that all of this modernization of the markets, I think, is good. And the trouble that we've seen here over the past few years is that the SEC, unlike historically, it never was necessarily at the vanguard of pushing new innovations. It was always a little bit behind the market, of course. But here recently, it's been almost standing athwart the marketplace, and as it's as all these new innovations were coming about. So that's no more. We're actually embracing it, and I believe that we need to be embracing it it to keep the United States at the forefront as far as cryptocurrencies and whatnot. There were really only 2 countries in the world here in the last few years that were working to make cryptocurrencies illegal, and that was Communist China and the U.S. through the SEC. So that's changed. It's a new day now, and so we want to embrace this.
All right, it's a new day now. He says it's a new day now, even though they did extend the reporting rule for companies that are shorting stocks. They have extended all that, so there's not much accountability yet on that front. But it is looking better and better for us as crypto investors. Hope you guys are doing good out there. What else do we have today? We got the Fed. Polymarket better see a 94% chance that the Fed will cut rates this December. Trump's national security strategy omits digital assets, and Binance secures full ADGM authorization, splitting into 3 regulated entities under the new brand Nest. So Binance is turned into Nest. And we do have word of a new Fed chair that might be nominated by Trump. What is his name? I forget his name. Is it right here? Is it Mulvaney? What is his name? Let's see if there's a post on it. All right, let me cut that down. Hassett is his name. A close White House ally is favored because he aligns with President Trump's demand for much lower interest rates. So, yeah, lower those interest rates and bring in the liquidity. That's what we need. All right. Cool. Let me get this going. There we go. Hope the video is better today. My last stream, I was very glitchy at the beginning of it. I don't know what's going on with my internet, guys. So we'll try to get through it the best we can. Oh, wow. Random stuff pops up on X. Elon Musk has some trippy posts there. Cool. All right, let me get going here. Just finished lunch before the stream. Guys, if you guys make, if you're chefs and you have a flat top grill, I like my flat top. God, this crack slaw recipe, guys. If you ever thought about making that, it's good. If you like cabbage, so you like cabbage. It's like a combination of a Asian dish, American dish, I guess. Cabbage and I use peppers and onions and what else? She likes ground chicken instead of sausage, so I use ground chicken. And there's all kinds of recipes for that, guys. If you want something really good and you like cabbage, check out Crack Slaw. It's kind of going a viral recipe here lately. Cool. Let me get back to crypto. Guys, let's check out. I did a video on privacy the other day. So we're going to look at privacy coins. Some people say privacy is a pipe dream. I believe in privacy. I believe in the Fourth Amendment. I believe that we have the right for that. I believe that government does not have a right to privacy. They should all be on chain. That way we can keep track of it, right? Keep track of our money. Let me check back with the chat here. Is blowing up. Doquan sentences Thursday. Okay. Yeah, for the Terra Luna fiasco, he will get the full 12 years. Will he get the full 12 years or a slap on the wrist? It all depends on who you know, right? You know how that goes, Bradley. It looks like we've got a 2-tier justice system out there. You fall in them with the right folks, it's wild what's going on. We need blockchain to clean this government up, and all these governments, state governments down to the local. Detroit Lions probably won't make the playoffs. They were good the past couple years. I don't even watch football, Bradley. Only sports I got into lately. I do watch a little baseball every now and then, and I like F1 racing. Mojo's got our popcorn ready. What's up, Mojo? 8-Bit Babe on his profile pic from Berserker Babes. You guys, make sure you check out the boardroom. Had a good convo. Was it yesterday? I saw a little bit. I watched the replay. I'm usually cooking when the coffee time is on. Buckles is lurking. Vincent Wilson told him 20K would be life-changing. What do you do for a living? Buckles, yeah, Vincent Wilson told him 20K be enough. I hodl. Mojo, saying hello. Everybody's saying hello to each other. We got Ycash. I never heard of Ycash, but it's up 35% today for privacy coins, leading the way, ranked 1,200. We'll take a quick look at it, see what's going on. You never know, some of these privacy coins might just pop off. Let's just look at the website. Ycash is the future of cash. That's what everybody says, right? Fair, fast, and fun. Kind of a simple website there. Okay. Cool. Let's get back to the show. We want to look at the connector coins today. What's popping off on the connector coin list? What's up, Martin? These names are kind of hard to read there, but hello, good to see you. Finally see you live. Your channel is so underrated. You do an amazing job. Keep it up. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad to be back streaming. I took a little break there for 2 months. I only streamed twice in 2 months. And, the weather was just so good. I had all these projects backed up, and I was really enjoying the weather where it's not so hot, not so cold, but it's getting chilly today. So we are streaming full force. All right, good. Glad you caught it, Martin. Pulsera, that's leading the way today on the connector coin list. Veritasium, I still hold a few of those in support of Reggie Middleton, the creator, the godfather of DeFi, Reggie Middleton. Okay, we got Sologenic Near Protocol on Atom Cosmos. Oh my God, Cosmos is only $2.26, guys. What an underrated chain. This thing has just been so disappointing. I mean, for so long, and it's like one of the best interoperability solutions out there. Now, I'm not sure how much this Atom token is actually used in the IBC network. I do know that they were working on making where like fees for these other chains that are on IBC use the Atom token for governance and all that. So it's just so underrated. It's just really disappointed. And we don't have real utility yet. So this could be, I hate to say it's a really good play, but it could be like one of the best plays because look at this chart. That's an all-time. What all-time chart for quality cryptos looks like that, right? I mean, this is the same price it was back in, what are we looking at here? I mean, it was hovering around $2 back in 2019. Yeah. Really, I'm just as a personal standpoint, be good to see that one pop off. I've been holding it for a while. I just really believe in the project ever since the ILP loves the IBC summit back in the day that GDLT played for us. What a good summit back in the day. How they work together, ILP and IBC. Okay, cool. Let's get back to connector coins. Anything else popping off? Let's look at our portfolio, or the, not portfolio, but the coins we're interested in the past year. Still, Loan Protocol is leading the way, up 379%. At one point, this thing did 1,600%, guys. Loan Protocol. Most people have their loan locked up for 3 or 4 years in advance, so there's not a lot of negative price action on it. Loan Protocol. Let's see what the markets are doing for Loan Protocol. This stuff is going, we'll get to Flare in just a minute, Bradley, but Loan was, people were depositing XRP over 2 months ago. They started depositing XRP into this Loan Protocol, albeit there is only a 23% interest that is gained by that. You do have $20 million worth of XRP locked up in Loan Protocol with all these others, USD Coin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XPR, and many more, giving you a total of $56 million total deposited. Now, that's nothing really, but that did just pass the number 50 in market cap as far as total, not market cap, but total value locked. So one of my favorite platforms is doing better. We did see on DeFi Llama, let me just refresh that we'll take a quick look at Flare protocol. Total value locked in Flare right now is $191 million. So, Flare's popping off. They're pretty good. Of course, a lot more than the XPR network with only what would I read? 60 million, 56 million. Flare's at 191 million. Total locked. Stable coins market cap under Flare is 122 million. They made there's a $418 in fees yesterday on Flare. I'm not an expert in this. Shout out to Fuma Boy's channel. He did a Flare breakdown Saturday night, so I do have to still go watch that. And yeah, they were talking about it. Uncle Buster was talking about it on the boardroom. So definitely check out Fuma Boys to learn more about the Flare protocol. And yeah, this might be a good option for you guys, for me, for you guys, to make a little side money off of your holdings instead of just letting it sit there. Lizard King says Reggie needs to be paid. Yes, sir, he does. He's got all these patents, and there's a big fight on about these patents. So we shall wish good luck for Reggie. Let's check out our XRP ETFs right quick. Spot only is, let's see, we've got, first of all, let's look at Brad's post. Brad Garlinghouse just posted in less than 4 weeks, and XRP is now the fastest crypto spot ETF to reach 1 billion assets under management since ETH in the US. What does that mean, since ETH? The fastest crypto spot ETF to reach 1 billion since ETH. Okay. So you got Bitcoin, then ETH, then XRP, basically, with over 40, top 40 cryptos ETFs launched this year in the US alone. Few points are obvious to me. Brad says there's pent-up demand for regulated crypto products and Vanguard opening up access to traditional retirement trading accounts for Americans. Crypto is now accessible to millions more people who don't need to be experts in the tech. And number two, longevity, stability, and community are all underrated themes that matter to this new set of off-chain crypto holders. Off-chain, that's your mom and pops with their Vanguard accounts buying crypto, spot crypto now. We waited for this a while. Yes, we thought there'd be more price action, but it is taking more and more XRP off the circulating supply every day. Good old Gary. $1 billion for the XRP ETFs. Let's go. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at the total crypto market cap today. 305 trillion. Looks like it's ready for another run up, if you ask me. Of course, I'm always bullish on my perma bull. Okay, we've got the Bitcoin dominance taking a little beat right now. That's good news for altcoin holders. Cool. And let's take a look at my COREUM 2 times daily long XRP ETF. Still going down. We need to see that reversal on that. And let's look at the stock market today. Tesla's down a little bit. Stock market is not exciting to me. We are crypto bros. The new financial system, the great awakening. Coinbase stock. Here's a gold chart, 4,188, pulling back just a little bit on this 1 month chart. And we've got silver sitting on the double top right there. Let's see which way it goes. $58 per silver ounce. Love to see that. Hold on to your silver, guys. Cool. We did get some news here. Ripple just secured $500 million funding round from Wall Street. Oh, Wall Street wants to come play. They want to come play in our sandbox, guys. Ripple's $500 million capital raise in November completed a $40 billion valuation. $40 billion. Wow. And I don't think that's even including the escrow. So who owns that escrow really? We know we've heard facts that the escrow could be just, you can just sell a private key to an escrow account. They could have it all split up in different accounts already. Who knows? Guys, if you didn't check out my video last night on sidechain ledgers, there's some good info in there. Oh, that's my store. If anybody wants to see that, it's on my YouTube channel. But as far as my live video, yeah, XRPL sidechains, a lot of good info in there. How to go to GitHub and download your own XRPL sidechain. I talk about the 3 sidechains that are already happening. You've got Zahao, you've got COREUM with their sidechain and Bridge, and you've got that EVM sidechain. So how many more sidechains are we going to get? How many do we not know about? How many banks are already running these sidechains? How many governments are already running these private sidechains so that they can keep up with all their internal transactions? We know that Bank of America was running their sidechain for all their internal transactions before the lawsuit, so I'm sure they picked that back up again. Bradley says silver is just a rocketing, $100 by the end of 2026. I'd love to see that too, Brad. They just bought shares back from Citadel at $250. Okay. Yeah, just check out. Yeah, that was a good video on the side chains, on actually how they do it and the cross chain transfers. They actually show you how to do a native XRP transfer between your side chain, and you can set up like 8 nodes. This is all theoretical. I'm not doing it. If anybody's out there that's tech savvy with Ubuntu and all that, and installing these repositories from GitHub, you might be interested. You got to have, I don't know if you run all 8 nodes on your own, or if you need help to run those nodes. I'm sure you need different nodes, different people. It needs to be decentralized. Even these side chains need to be decentralized. But they were showing you how you could, you got to run a XRP mainnet node. And also while you're running that node, you can install it's like the main ledger, but it's a side chain download. So and you can actually send native XRP from your side chain to the mainnet. And that is testnet mainnet though right now. So because we're still waiting on these, the cross-chain bridge adds cross-chain bridges, enabling the transfer. Where'd it go? I lost it when I blew my screen up a little bit. Hold on. There we go. The transfer of digital assets. Notice they say digital assets. So if your sidechain has, your sidechain can use XRP as its native asset, or you can use your own. So there comes into play, like when you think of like BRICS and these banks that are issuing these units, these BRIC units, a BRICS bank that's backed by 40% gold and 60% currencies, fiat currencies. And that's off chain. These are off chain assets, right? So they actually lock them up, and they're local. From everything I've read here, they lock them up at the local bank, and whatever they've got custodied, audited and custodied, they can issue a unit on chain from the off chain assets. So that to me says, they can have their own native asset, and it can be an off chain asset as their native digital asset, right? So countries could even have gold as their native asset. You know, if you trust that, it's all about trust. Are you going to trust that side chain and deal with them? Are they a government, right? So you could have gold, or you could just create your own whatever as an, you know, whatever as your native asset. And then you could actually choose XRP as your native asset. Anyway, you can send either one digital assets between networks. So between the mainnet and the sidechain. So just imagine hundreds or even thousands of different sidechains with that capability of sending XRP between them and to and from the mainnet. It's pretty wild stuff, guys, when you think about how scalable that is and how each country or whatever could use their own sidechain, you know. Back to the ETFs. Checked out the chat. Gemini stock. Buckles says, what's up, Buckles? Says Gemini will rival Robinhood. Well, good. Yeah. And Coinbase soon. What about BitNominal? I was just checking this out earlier. Ooh, that's a bright. There we go. BitNominal, the first regulated crypto exchange in America, right? CFTC regulated. And, you know, CFTC, their trading commission, they can get ahead of the, you know, market structure bill that's coming out. You know, they're the only ones allowed to basically get ahead of that. So I don't see any problem with them coming up with a regulated exchange before crypto laws are passed. You know, they're the commission. They're the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. They're the ones in charge. So they would be the ones who are not even liable, just responsible for the future setup of approving these exchanges. So they're just approving it early. You know, I don't see any big deal of that. It's pretty cool. Let's see. We've got spot, options, futures, perpetuals, everything. Look here, they even list Bitcoin complex futures and options. And the very second asset I see is XRP, then ETH, which is nice to see. Solana and more. That's pretty interesting there. Pretty telling. We've seen a lot of flows out of Bitcoin into XRP. Seriously low fees, as low as 0.002%. As low, you know, it could be higher, but wow, that's where we're going, guys. Low fees, fast delivery. No pre-collateralization. Hold on to your assets until you take the contract to delivery. Trade in and out of positions with different anonymous or negotiated counterparties. Huh. So that's kind of like, that sounds like basically like over the counter with them. Where was the founders? I heard Brad Garlinghouse was involved in this, was on the board. Let's see if there's about. Okay, you've got different companies here: BitNominal Incorporated, BitNominal Exchange, and the BitNominal Clearing. We've got some investors here: Jump Capital, Bitrix, join, start trading. I was hoping I'd find a section with the board on there. Maybe they're not the exchange. Maybe, oh, the incorporated. Maybe Brad's involved in the exchange. 3 different businesses. Wild how all these businesses, they need to separate. They're doing that to cover themselves, guys. If they get in trouble on one business, well, that bank account for that business is isolated. The bank accounts for the other businesses, that doesn't cross over unless you pierce the veil. You know, between a judge has to determine if companies pierce the corporate veil. and that would allow, someone to sue both companies or whatever to prove they were working together against the defendant, or however that goes. I'm not going to spend all day trying to find the board members. Let's keep it going. Did we finish this $500 million? I jump all around, I know, guys. $500 million round from Wall Street. No, we didn't finish this. Marking it the highest valuation ever achieved by a private crypto company. That's Ripple, guys. $40 billion valuation. That is smoking hot. What happened? The funding round attracted heavyweight traditional finance names like Citadel. Oh, is that what you were saying, Citadel? That was Bradley. They just bought shares back from Citadel at $250. I assume Bradley's talking about Ripple shares. They bought them back. I think I did see something about that. Let's keep reading. Who else invested in Ripple? Fortress Investment Group, Marshall Wace, WACE, Brevin Howard, Galaxy Digital. There's what's his name? Novogratz, I think, and Pantera Capital. But the investment came with unusually tight safeguards. So Ripple's put a lot of rules on this stock investment by Wall Street. They're in charge. They're their stock. They can put the rules on in the contracts as they want. Buckle says Gemini stock will rival. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. According to Bloomberg, these projects indicate that although institutional appetite for crypto is growing, major firms still remain cautious amid market volatility and regulatory uncertainty. The deal includes investors can force Ripple to repurchase their shares. So if they want to sell them back to Ripple after 3 to 4 years with a minimum return of 10% annually. So that there's no risk. When they're buying into Ripple, they've signed this contract that they can sell it with a 10% return. Wow. Annually. If Ripple chooses to buy shares sooner or structure the repurpose differently, it must pay investors a 25% annualized return. They buy them back sooner. New investors receive liquidation priority over existing shareholders in the event of a sale or bankruptcy. You always got to pretend. We can't pretend that that's still not out there. Everything's still on the table here, and we're still in a nascent industry. Ripple would need to spend an estimate $732 million to buy back the shares after 4 years. What's up, Sizu? Have you looked into Zahao, the sidechain, has native staking already? Oh, does it already have native staking? Now, I'm very familiar with Zahao. I didn't know they had native staking though. The Zahao is one of the sidechains I talked about in my sidechain video last night. And I've got Zahao on Zaman wallet, and you can switch over the networks to the sidechain, and that's where my Evernode tokens are as well. And Zahao has hooks, unlike the XRP ledger. From what I remember, there was a kind of a little disagreement between Ripple and XRPL services. Is that Vicevin's business? They created Zahao. He wanted Ripple to add, or XRP ledger to vote in hooks for that chain for the mainnet, but no, they put it on. He chose his own sidechain and put his own hooks on Zahao. Curious on your opinion on Evernode on Zahao. Evernode's really good from what I understand. Everything I've seen is pretty awesome about it. It's very underrated. It's got smart contracts, of course, and a lot of people think that there's speculation that Evernode is basically Codius rebranded, but who knows? Lots of mystery around Evernode. That's a good chain there as far as technology. Evernode's got it. XRP is not the only one, guys. I love it. But there are others. What about the Connector coin list? Let's take a updated look at that. What are some of my favorites? I like XRP, XLM, HBAR, Near Protocol, Ondo for tokenization. Algo's good. Quant's been around forever. They're a good interoperability play there. Atom, Cosmos, there's your Flare. Big news about Flare coming. Staking opportunity on Flare. Firelight introduces XRP staking for DeFi insurance layer against exploits. The new protocol developed by Centaura and Flare networks aim to combine XRP yield opportunity with offering protection against DeFi hacks. Pretty cool. They're got insurance on there. I'm sure it's probably dollar denominated. You know, what's up, Turple Nurple? Good to see you as always. Firelight allows XRP holders to stake tokens and earn rewards while providing on-chain protection against hacks. Built by Centaura. Lets XRP holders stake their tokens to earn rewards tied to demand for DeFi cover protection that can help protocols absorb losses from exploits, the protocol said in a Wednesday press conference.
It's Blockchain Week in Dubai, brought to you by VELO. I'm Jen Sanasi.
And I go into thinking they're you, or trick people into or in many cases, you can actually...
I don't think that was anything to do with Flare. Binance Blockchain Week. So yeah, lots to learn about Flare. That's been the dream of holding or earning on your XRP this entire time. So it looks like Hugo is making this possible over at Flare. I'm not familiar with a lot of this. Let's kind of just read through it. You know, I've been kind of scared of getting into it, of course. Any new thing, it takes me a while to get in it and trust it. But, you know, I'm sure it's looking good. The concept is similar to insurance in a traditional finance, an area where 160 billion DeFi sector still lags, with billions of dollars lost in exploits and hacks, hindering broader adoption. And at this stage in DeFi's maturity, it needs the same risk infrastructure that supports every other financial market. The system works in two phases. First, users deposit XRP and receive staked XRP. Now, I did hear that it was supposed to be set up where we would never have to leave the XRP ledger. So we could do all this from like a Zaman app. So they're saying deposit. So that says you're moving it off. Maybe it's maybe they're going to offer staked XRP as a trust line. I don't know how that's going to work. We're going to keep an eye on it, and learn about it together. But no, it's saying staked XRP is a liquid ERC20 token that represents their stake. Oh, that's kind of scary. ERC20 token. I don't believe I want to give up my XRP for an ERC20 token. But I think we can still try to figure this out. Staked XRP can be traded, used as collateral, or added to DeFi liquidity pools within the Flare ecosystem. In the second phase, that staked XRP will back the Firelight cover pool, meaning the positive funds are used to underwrite risk for DeFi protocols that opt in. It looks like they're trying to figure it out. I'm just going to let it keep going for a while before I get into it. Try to earn some staking rewards off of XRP. That sounds real nice, you know. Cool, cool. What else do we have? Let's check out CryptoPanic.com. Hope everybody's doing good. Thanks for not shilling Caleb and Brown. Right, Sisu? Yeah, I get tired of hearing about them myself. I'm not involved with them. I'm not involved with anyone really besides myself and you guys. All right, cool. Ondo Finance. Let's read through the headlines. If there's anything good, we'll click on it. Ondo Finance says Biden-era SEC investigation closed with no charges. Okay, I do have a bookmark on that. SEC has formally closed a confidential Biden-era investigation. Confidential. Nothing in government should be confidential, guys. That's public office. So what are we doing here? Well, come on. Biden era investigation in Ondo without any charges. So Ondo has a free pass. Inquiry began in 24, focused on whether Ondo's tokenization of real-world assets complied with federal securities laws, as well as whether Ondo token was a security. The investigation came during a period of aggressive scrutiny of digital asset firms, when Ondo's rapid growth in tokenized treasuries made it to one of the earliest and most visible innovators made it one of the most earlier innovators in the category. I need to slow down, don't I? I'm reading too fast. Against the backdrop, Ondo never wavered from its core conviction, tokenizing some of the safest and most established assets in global finance, like U.S. treasuries and public listed equities, can both be transformative and compliant. Yet this outcome is nevertheless an important milestone for the entire tokenization ecosystem. So basically, the path is clear for tokenization, clearing the way for tokenization. My tokenization plays are XRP. What's some good ones? Ondo, of course. I love COREUM for tokenization. They're smart tokens. You're going to have all these exchanges set up. And the whole thing about the smart token is it's wrapped inside of a smart contract, and all these rules are put on the token itself versus on the blockchain. So the token itself, the smart tokens, they can have KYC requirement turned on. They can have geofencing turned on, where the token can't move out of the United States or whatever. So many options with COREUM. Let's see. Let's keep going. What else do we want to look at? On Crypto Panic, XRP stays resilient despite $510 million sell-off. That's because we've got sell-ons to battle the sell-offs, right? Okay, what else? Morgan Stanley cuts Tesla. Zcash's 814 explosion revives the privacy market. Yeah, that's why we want to look at these privacy coins. Here's my list for privacy coins: Monero, Zcash, Litecoin, Canton, Dash, Starknet, Tezos. All of them are either private or have private options. We've got an airdrop coming to the community. If you guys were able to get in on the night airdrop, I think tomorrow is the redemption. It starts, the redemption windows will open in phases, stalls. The redemption portal will launch shortly beforehand to allow people to preview their allocations. The Midnight Network's native utility token has launched. Token distribution. Snapshot date was June 11th, 2025. So we're waiting on there's going to be 4.55 billion night tokens with 8 million addresses, ongoing distribution. It's a little complicated how they're doing all this, but I've got a bookmark here. I thought we did Ondo. Right quick, Binance Alpha will be the first platform to feature Midnight night tokens on December 9th. So it looks like, yeah, tomorrow. Oh, yeah, Caesar got it. 589 got accepted to be a midnight ambassador. Right on. Keep us up to date then. Sizu, appreciate that. Eligible users can claim their airdrop using Binance Alpha Points. So I guess if you were on the Binance platform, you're going to get your airdrop. They're going to help you out with that. And Angry Crypto posted just in. Charles Hoskinson says Midnight's new consensus protocol Jolteon is 5,000 transactions per second, sub-second block time. It'll be about 9 months. We start with liquidity, dApps, infrastructure, and then the whole package. Every 1 to 3 months, a new wave of partners.
New consensus protocol Jolteon. It's 5,000 TPS, sub-second block time. It's pretty good stuff. And then roll it all over to the mainnet, and everything's bridged up and connected together. So this is going to be about 9 months of just endless slog. But, you start with liquidity, then you get dApps, then you get infrastructure, and then you get the whole end-to-end package. So I like the launch plan. Like every month, 3 months, we're kind of getting a new goodie, and a new wave of partners comes on.
All right, Cardano in the game. Sounds good to me. The XPR network hit a huge milestone. Lizard waited 30 minutes and walked out of rehab. Oh, dang, Lizard. I hate waiting myself too, man. It sucks. Everything's, everyone seems like everybody that's working now doesn't care about their job. They don't want to be there. Everybody's miserable, and it makes customers and patients miserable. What a mess. Huge milestone. XPR network is now a top 50 blockchain DeFi total value locked on DeFi Llama. So yeah, we are locking up more and more on the XPR network. And Marshall also says it's time to put the U.S. Treasury on chain with Know Your Government, NYG. All expenses tracked real time, unalterable, and fully transparent to the public. Each government office having their own verified digital identity that can be held accountable via the United States DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization. Oh, you got your crypto addiction. All right. We're all addicted. We're all in this together. Okay, so yeah, anybody not following Marshall, this is a true patriot right here and blockchain lover, CEO of Metallicus. Stellar has something going on today with PayPal, Stable Club. Fall series with Stellar featuring Tom Weller. Tom Weller's okay. PayPal Stable Club. I guess they're talking about stable coins on the PayPal. See if there's anything good that they say.
Agent around the world. That's like more than 400,000 physical locations. And you
excited that we were able to launch PYUSD on Stellar a few short months ago. So
we don't want to watch too much of this. I just had it on my bookmarks. So they're talking about the PYUSD, PayPal dollar. We're all crypto crackheads. That's right. That's right, Bradley. Where can I get some of that crypto? I get some of those cryptos. Bitcoin Archive posted that U.S. bank CEOs are meeting with United States senators to discuss Bitcoin and crypto market structure legislation. We've seen Trump has announced that we should get legislation before the end of the year. He wants to sign the market structure bill, so we better get going on that. Can't wait for that. We got to have the molasses jar tipped over and crypto regulations going. When banks stop fighting crypto and start, I'm just reading through the comments random here. When banks stop fighting crypto and start legislating it, the revolution's over. Now it's just about who writes the rules for the new system. That's right, composite operator. Who writes the rules for the new system? And the new system, that's what brings liquidity in and brings the value in. So yeah, you can have a revolution all you want, but if you don't have the legacy players coming over to update their system, we don't have a big bull market like we want. Banks are finally catching up. When banks show up, it's not about innovation, it's about positioning. TradFi wants a seat at the table before the rules unlock real capital. There you go. Give that one a like. Legislators tightening rules only fuels demand. Crypto's infrastructure is solidifying the next boom. Banks need meeting about Bitcoin in 25 tells one thing. They're not ignoring the future. They're trying to catch up. Crypto builds faster than regulations. Momentum wins. Yeah, it's good to read through comments every now and then, get the sentiment. Altcoin, something, U.S. bank CEOs meeting senators. Game-changing moment. Shifting from resilience to regulated embrace. Unlocking institutional floodgates. Well, no wonder they invested in Ripple. What was it? How much? $500 million to give Ripple a $40 billion valuation. Wow. Trends in adoption accelerating Main Street pivot. Low risk of derailment with Trump era pro-crypto wins. Breakout above uncertainty. Lots of Bitcoin people in here. Senators taking orders from bank CEOs on how to cage Bitcoin. Cute. All right, cool. And let's get back to my bookmarks. What's up, Protein 40? Yo, Connector, what's good, bro? What's up, everybody? Good, man. I'm doing good. The weather got a little cold, so I'm back in the studio here, doing a little stream. And let's see what else we had on Panic. Make sure we don't miss anything. If you guys like my synth music, check out Dawless Radio. That's my second channel at Dawless Radio. All these songs are on there. Running in the background when I stop talking. What else do we have? Robinhood expands into Indonesia. What's up with all these desks moving to Asia, guys? JP Morgan's trading desk moved to Singapore. What are they trying to do? Get ahead of our time? You know, if they're in Singapore, they're several hours ahead of us like that. No telling. Singapore is the crypto capital of Asia, so I can't blame them for doing that. And don't forget, XDC is in Singapore. Singapore's got it going on. I saw this. Jamie Dimon was asked about debanking clients, and he says people have to grow up. They never really answered the question, you know. I love it when they give a blanket statement after you ask them a direct question. All right, cool. Let's get back to our bookmarks. Agent.run. We're excited to release a brand new custom XRP Fi dashboard focused on delivering the most comprehensive FXRP data experience available. We were talking about Flare's staking options going live with XRP. Here's your basically your Explorer dashboard. For that, it's AI Agent or AI Agent. AIgent.run. AIGENT.run. Combined with intelligent AI Agent Copilot, it makes the entire FXRP ecosystem easier to understand and navigate. Over the last several weeks, we worked closely with Flare Network's ecosystem to design and build a dedicated FXRP dashboard. This standalone high-performance data interface. This dashboard consolidates all FXRP activity across the network from Kinetic's Firelight. There's that Firelight we were talking about. I need to follow them. And Kinetic Markets. Kinetic, earn with the value of your equity. Enosis. So Flare can be used across all these dashboards, it looks like. Blaze, Sparks, Enosis, Firelight, and Kinetic. But what AI Gent has built is a new XRP dashboard, delivers complete real-time view of XRP ecosystem. Wow. Lots to read here. What's coming next? We'll work with the Flare with the next phase of interaction with mint and redeem FXRP directly within the dashboard. So this is another, like a third party that's trying to work with Flare, it looks like. And we saw, what was the that one fund, I think it was Saudi Arabia fund, that they're going to buy XRP and they're going to use Flare to stake that XRP. Forget the name of the business, but it was a business with the FXRP treasury. Where is, I wanted to see the actual website. Let's check it out. AIGent.run. AI Gent, deploy powerful AI agents, automate trading strategies, and optimize your on-chain activity. XRP Ledger and XRP EVM sidechain. It's like you've got a prompt here. You can help me get the token transfer history, or you can type in what you want to do. How can I view my liquidity pool token balance? How should I compare token liquidity across AMM pools? These are just asking AI questions. How is it possible to get past token balances for a given? Wow, you can just type it right in. Yeah, I've been, I mean, we've got regular AIs that we can do, but this is tailored just for XRP and Flare. Yeah. Change the way you use XRP with the AI assistant in the agent terminal. First time I'm seeing this, guys. Just looking through this stuff with you. Protein says he's earned 20 XRP with the Gemini card so far. Not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. Make sure you get that card paid off quick, or that APY, you know, you'll be losing that much. You don't get that paid off. Let's see. Change the way you use XRP with this assistant. How the terminal works, user interaction. Users connect to the AI terminal interface and simply ask their agent for assistance. AI agent processing. The agent analyzes on-chain data and executes intelligent decisions. NCP server bridge, a model context protocol server, facilitates and secure communication between the AI and the blockchain. The XRPL execution, on-chain on-chain actions are executed directly on the XRP ledger with near instant timing and minimal fees. I'm actually not seeing anything about Flare on here yet.
It's almost immutable. It's just an accounting ledger. Trust it more than an Oracle database. Trust it more than an Oracle database.
I mean, this was just today that they made this post about Flare, so
I want to invest in something because how the books and records are kept.
the agent understands requests in any language and will brainstorm and deploy complex automated strategies for you. So you could tell it to buy $500 worth of XRP using RLUSD when the price drops below $3. Now that's a heck of a limit trade there. You just tell it what you want to do. That's the future of agents right here, guys. Just tell it that I'm ready to buy $500 once it goes below this price. Nice. Real-time data, analyze top XRP holders. You can tell it to do that. Common use cases are dollar cost average strategy. Set up a dollar cost averaging for XRP and XRPL tokens with custom schedules and amounts. Nice. You can tell it, your agent, to dollar cost average 100 RLUSD weekly into XRP and tokens as well. Nice. What's up, GDLT1? You demand? We're just looking at this AIGent.run. You just type in what you want it to do on the XRP ledger or what question you want to ask it. Proteins, Buckles earned 32. Nice. 32 XRP with Gemini as well. Yeah, how for the next few days, 5% on all purchases. Nice. And this looks like something to look into. Your AI agent on the ledger. And of course, like I said, I didn't see anything about Flare, but they did just post that they have a new Flare dashboard. Okay, that must have been the XRP dashboard. Let's look at the Flare dashboard. Here we go. So these are different dashboards: the terminal, XRP5, FXRP, docs and socials, FXRP dashboard. Awaken your XRP with Flare DeFi. Explore advanced FXRP data and ecosystem analysis with an AI agent copilot. So you just use your agent for Flare as well here. Here's your dashboard. We've got total value locked on Flare 156. That's different than the amount we saw 191 on DeFi Llama. Total value locked on Flare. Close, the FXRP supply. There's 75 million FXRPs, 27,000 transactions, almost 6,000 holders of FXRP. Minting and capacity, minted versus cap, 256 million out of 270 million. Total value locked chart, mints. There's the since September, the mints going on. Every day is a dot. And collateral composition, Flare to USD T0. That's that interoperability, USD T0. That's that new Tether coin for on-chain interoperability, from what I understand. And there's $14 million of Flare collateral. All right, we'll keep that dashboard here and also check into just using it for XRP as well. We saw the midnight, I don't think I read through this, guide to the night token launch and redemption. So tomorrow is, I think the redemption process starts tomorrow. What's coming next? I don't know. I guess I'll just log into the dashboard after tomorrow and check back in with that. Cool. What other bookmarks do I have saved? Hope you guys are doing good out there on this Monday. What's today's date? The 8th. We're at the 8th already. GDLT, X infrastructure, cryptos. That's it. That's what it's all about. The future infrastructure. We know where this stuff's going. On-chain is the future. So yeah, definitely. AI Gent, got that one. We did this one the other day. Here's some Stronghold listing. They are listed on the Uphold now. If you guys didn't see that last week, I think. System update, Stronghold. Yeah, we had a good little pump from that listing. Yeah, they're just showing about the listing. Uphold supports both ERC20 and Stellar versions of Stronghold. Stronghold, the blue brick. Let's go. Missing piece. Just looking through some old bookmarks now at Ian Biss. I reckon we must lock in. Everybody's saying lock in. Been a few days, but yeah, Brad G said lock in. The White House is locked in. Rates are locked in. Shorts is locked in. Quincy's locked in. LJ, who's Luke Judges? Don't know who that is. Caroline Phams locked in. The CTFC commissioner. GDLT says Stronghold makes XRP and XLM usable by enterprises who legally cannot touch raw crypto rails. That's right. And as a merchant, an ex-merchant, man, I got tired of paying those fees. That's messed up. They got the whole game rigged with these merchant fees. You know, you pay me $100 and I only get what, $97.50 out of that $100. You know, and over and over and over. Oh my God, I used to pay those merchants fees so much. I hated that. And you know, that's just charging. I had to bring that cost to the customer, but Stronghold's got it locked in where the customer and the merchant get rewards for their POS system at the point of sale. So very cool. Protein's holding SHX. Yeah, that's been a long hold for me as well. We've got MetalPay saying they support the XPR network withdrawals from MetalPay so you can take your favorite digital assets to the world of DeFi without any annoying network fees. I love that XPR has no fees. Yeah, they just went to top 50 with total value locked. Get on that. Okay, here's what I was looking for. The Midnight Portal. They're 2 days out from the redemption portal, and this was today's. I thought it was tomorrow. So maybe it's Wednesday. 2 days out from the redemption portal opening. Do you know if your individual thoughts go? I haven't looked that up, but I will check out the redemption on there. This ought to be good. The secret of how Rockefeller's family wealth has lasted 7 generations from Mitsuri. Let's see this.
One of the things about the Rockefeller family that so fascinates people is that most families lose their wealth after 3 generations. Rockefeller family is now in its 7th generation, still together as a family, still preserving their wealth, still incredibly philanthropic. David has given away now up to $2 billion in his past lifetime. What's the secret to being such a successful family?
Well, I would say that it is incredibly important to be close as a family and to work hard and to
not too close though.
Budget wisely.
Yeah, because you were saying as a kid when you got your allowance, you had to record every dollar that went in and everything that you spent. And that's something that started with John D. Rockefeller himself.
Yeah. Financial literacy. We need to be teaching our kids financial literacy. These schools don't want that. They don't ever tell you how to do anything financial. That's what needs to change in this country. We need to change our education and teach these kids about financial literacy. They want you to be workers, robots.
Himself, isn't it?
Yes, I think the message was a dollar is a dollar, and to value that and put a lot of value on hard work and the enjoyment of life, of course, and to give.
She means the value of the dollar because her family has created the dollar. The Rockefellers, that's an IOU to them. So yeah, I'm sure they're not teaching her dollar for dollar, miss. There's a lot more going on in the Rockefellers than that. I thought there'd be more insight to that. My bad, guys. I think that was all just a show. Just a show. What else do we have here? Just looking through some old bookmarks here. Let's see how long the show's going. 1 hour and 25 minutes. I like the DeFi King. He says, rev the engines, the volume's coming. Decentralized perpetual futures trading volume reached a record $1.3 trillion in October 2025, nearly doubling the $738 billion recorded in September, marking the first time on-chain perpetuals exceeded $1 trillion in a single month. The surge was driven by increased migration from centralized exchanges to decentralized platforms. There you go. Fueled by tighter risk controls and reduced market-making activities on CEXs, centralized exchanges, as well as U.S. Federal Reserve's second rate cut of the year, which lowered the cost of dollar funding and made leverage perp exposure more attractive. So we're going to DeFi more and more. Every day we see more and more going off-chain to on-chain. And we'll take it, guys. That's where the future is. The future rails, the future roads. Cool. I think I'm going to get out of here, guys. I'm going to jam it on the way out. Hope you guys are doing good on this Monday afternoon. What are we? 2:20 on the East Coast now. All right, guys. Jeffrey in the house. What's up, Jeffrey? You want massive income? Holding Zahao on Zaman Wallet. You hit the DAP balance adjustment and start collecting 4% APY right off the bat, right on the wallet. Wow. Okay, that sounds good, Jeffrey. Wow, that sounds too good to be true, but I'll take your word for that. Holding Zaman on the Zahao on the Zaman wallet. Yep, you change over to the side chain. You hit the DAP balance adjustment and start collecting 4% APY right off the bat. I'm gonna have to check that out, Jeffrey. Education happens at the kitchen table. That's right, Lizard. Teach your kids about it, because no one else will. No one wants anyone else to have financial literacy. But that's what we're all doing, guys. We're all helping each other out along the way. And, you know, if we find something out, we'll tell each other about it. That's what it's all about. A tight-knit community. You're welcome, Buckles. Anytime. Let me speed that up a little bit. Let's get out of here, guys. All right. Who was on the stream today? We had Bradley B, Lizard King, Mojo. We had Martin, Sizu. Sizu's Evernote. What did she say? Midnight Ambassador, that's it. On the night tokens. Good deal. Right on. Turple Nurple in the house. GDLT1. Guys, make sure you check out GDLT stream. GDLT XRP. Protein 40 in the house. Then Buckles. And Jeffrey Dahmer. Glad you guys stopped by today. We'll see you on the next one, guys. MrConectr out.